currently have a tornado warning in Marshall County. It's from a cell that's moving into our viewing area, and you can see it outlined here in red. So we are going to immediately put the tracker on the length of this tornado. It is heading southeast at about 45 miles per hour. It has produced strong winds up to 60 to 70 miles per hour, along with some large hail in this area. So this storm is moving at 45 miles per hour, will likely be in Varna at 11:01, in Toluca at 11:09, Minonk at 11:21, El Paso at 11:33, and Gridley at 11:40 p.m. So if you are in these areas, please take cover. Make sure you are getting into an interior room in your house, staying far away from windows, as we do currently have a tornado that is radar indicated moving into that area. Again, this is for Marshall County. Is it set to expire at about 11:15 p.m. This is a part of a line of severe thunderstorm warnings across the northwestern portion of our viewing area. So again, we have a tornado warning. We're going to take a look now at our velocities to see just how this cell is spinning in this area. So give me 1 second to pull that up. Yes, you can see when we have the bright greens like that coupled next to a bright red, that is indicating some rotation there. So the green is heading towards the radar, and then the red is heading away from the radar. So this is essentially what we're seeing here as far as rotations go. And then the green heading towards. And that is a very bright spot. When you see those brighter colors, that is showing that there are some strong winds in that area. So again, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning. That is why we are cutting into coverage here. And I'll click back to radar just in case you are just joining us to show you our severe thunderstorm warning. It is working its way southeast through Marshall County, heading towards Henry, Toluca, Varna, all within the next 15 minutes or so. And again, this is along a line of strong thunderstorms working through the northwestern portion of our viewing area. You can see in Toulon and in other parts of Marshall and Starr counties and Putnam counties, we have some strong thunderstorms working through that's bringing at least 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts that will likely lead to some damage. We have a considerable thunderstorm. When we reach considerable levels, that's for this severe thunderstorm that's set to expire at 11 p.m. for Marshall and Starr counties. That shows that this storm is producing measured up to 70 mile per hour wind gusts, and that's when we can see damage occur because of those strong winds. So again, we have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings occurring at this hour. I can zoom out to show you what we're talking about. Again, just a reminder, we do have a tornado warning heading into Marshall County. As of right now, that's set to expire at 11:15. We do have one more warning that is heading towards the Peoria metro area and Pekin as well. This warning is set to expire at 11 p.m. and has produced up to 60 mile per hour wind gusts along with quarter-size hail, so about an inch in size. It is heading east at 55 miles per hour, so likely riding right along that I-55 corridor into Tazewell County. That is currently what we're seeing now with these two or multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. So again, I just want to check back in on that tornado warning one to kind of give you guys an idea of all the severe thunderstorm warnings we have ongoing right now. I'm going to draw the cone to show, again, arrival times for where this tornado warning is going. Again, make sure you're getting into your safe place if you are in Henry, Toluca, Varna. It's going to be in Henry at about 10:50, so in about 4 minutes or so. Again, this is radar indicated. We have yet to get the alert that it is spotted. Sorry, someone has cited it. So again, 10:50 in Henry, 11:03 in Varna, 11:11 in Toluca, 11:24 in Minonk, and 11:36 to Flanagan, 11:44 p.m. This storm is moving southeast into Marshall and the most northeastern parts of Woodford County if it is able to maintain its structure and continue its way southeast of our viewing area. So it looks like they had just expanded the considerable thunderstorm warning. That is that darker orange box. When you see that, that is showing us, hey, this is not just a baseline severe thunderstorm. This is a considerable thunderstorm, and that can lead to up to 70 mile per hour wind gust, which leads to damage. That could uproot healthy trees. So if you are in this area, such as the northern parts of Woodford County near Chillicothe, Henry, of course, Varna, Minonk. It's likely that you should stay in an interior room, as we do have a tornado warning currently working through that area, along with a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to click on this warning to get more information to see just how big the hail size is in this area. So it looks like the primary concern is the 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for Marshall, Peoria, Stark, and Woodford counties set to expire at 11:30 p.m. And again, we do have a tornado warning in the western or into Marshall County heading there now. So I'm going to check back in on our velocity product to see how the rotation is holding up in this cell in Marshall County. Give me 1 second. Okay, here's what we got going on. So you can see we still have some bright colors, likely really strong winds in this area, of course, just about south of Henry. If you are in Henry, again, Varna, Toluca, make sure you are staying in a safe place right now, away from windows, in an interior room. If you have to hide in the bathtub, of course, you can hide in the bathtub, but just make sure you're kind of staying tucked in your safe place right now. As we can still see via radar, we do have some bright indication of radar or a couplet there for rotation. So again, this is a tornado warning. Just want to keep reiterating what we're talking about here. I will cut back to our reflectivity, or to our reflectivity to show, again, this is a considerable thunderstorm warning taking up a good portion of Marshall County along with the most northeastern part of Peoria County. So that includes Chillicothe in that area, likely about to see some really strong winds enter that area as we see these storms are forming a line here. So when they form a line, that's when a damaging wind threat really becomes primary. So this line of showers and storms is working its way southeast into our viewing area, and that's why we are seeing a considerable level for a severe thunderstorm warning. Again, when we see considerable, that means up to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible within this line of showers and thunderstorms. Again, we have a tornado warning that is set to expire at 11:15 for Marshall counties. It's radar indicated for the rotation. And again, if you are in areas such as Varna, Henry, make sure you are getting into your safe place as a tornado has been indicated via radar working southeast into that area at about 40 miles per hour. Just going to check our National Weather Service chat to see if we have any updates. Here in the studio in East Peoria, I can hear the thunderstorms outside because we do have another severe thunderstorm warning in Peoria County. I can check in on that cell very quickly here. So here is a severe thunderstorm warning. You can see it's just about east of Pekin right now, heading towards the Peoria Metro, almost right along that I-74, the interstate there. And it is traveling east at about 55 miles per hour. So it's a fast-moving storm and producing strong winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-size hail up to an inch. Again, this warning is set to expire at 11 o'clock, so within the next 10 minutes or so. And I can see our downtown camera on my other computer, so I can see the heavy downpours in downtown Peoria right now. Checking back into our tornado warning, want to make sure keeping everybody up to date. If you are just joining us, I'm 25 News First Alert Meteorologist Evan Mashule. We are cutting into coverage this evening because we do have some severe weather alerts to talk about. We have a tornado warning working southeast into Marshall County, and we also have a considerable severe thunderstorm warning that's for a good portion of Marshall County along with Putnam County, the most northeastern tip of Peoria County, looks like including Chillicothe there, and the northern part of Woodford County. When we have a considerable severe thunderstorm, that means we're seeing wind gusts measured up to 70 miles per hour, and that can certainly lead to thunderstorm damage along with some large hail up to an inch in size. So going to put our tracker back out, or let's check the rotation of this tornado warning in Marshall County. You can see it by the red outline on your screen. So it looks like it's just south of Henry, just east of Lakin right now, heading towards, of course, Varna and Toluca. Going to check in on the rotation. We have seen some bright colors within the last several minutes or so. So it looks like another scan. It does look like the green is much brighter than the red alongside it. So it's likely that this is becoming more of a straight line wind measurement, and I'm not seeing as much rate or as much rotation as we had seen the past couple of scans. So that could be a good thing, meaning that our tornado is sort of, or the radar indicated tornado is becoming more of a straight wind threat rather than a rotation. But of course, they're going to keep the tornado warning on there. So let's put a track on it to see where it's heading into next. And again, it's set to expire at 11:15. So I'm going to put the track on there. You can kind of see a little bit of an indentation there, which would show some good inflow into that system, which would support a tornado development. So I'm going to put the track on there. Give me 1 second. Okay. Again, heading southeast at about 40 miles per hour. So arriving to Larose at 11:03. Pattonsonsburg, at 11:09 p.m., 11:20 to Minonk, 11:34 to Flanagan, 11:40 to Gridley, and 11:50 to Chenoa. So again, if you are in this area, if you are in that central part of Marshall County, make sure you are staying in your safe place, not out of the woods just yet, still about south of Henry, still stay in your safe place, as there are likely some strong winds in that area that could still lead to some damage. Of course, tree limbs could be falling, some power outages, also as this tornado or these strong winds continue to push through that area. Again, Larose at about 11:03, 11:09 for Pattonsonsburg, and 11:20 for Minonk, 11:34 p.m. for Flanagan, and 11:40 for Gridley if this storm or this tornado were to maintain its structure and continue its southeastern trajectory. Again, a good portion of this area, talking about Marshall County, Woodford County, is in a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, which means that there are measured up to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts that can lead to some damage in that area. So definitely stay away from windows if you're in the northern parts of Woodford County, Chillicothe. As you zoom down on the street level here in Lakin, Washburn, Toluca, make sure you're staying in your safe place as of yet. So what's something we look out for when we see this tornado development on radar reflectivity? Oh, there's a new scan there. We kind of want to see if we have an indent like this. This would support air going into the system, which would create some rotation. So we're kind of seeing that still in that area. And I definitely want to switch back to our velocity product to see if the winds are very strong in that area to support that rotation that we saw earlier. So I'm going to click back to it. So you can definitely see the bright green colors. Again, green is heading towards the radar, red is heading away from the radar. So if we want to see if we have a tornado, we want to see them coupled next to each other. And the brighter the color, the stronger the winds are in that area. So of course, this is elevated at least a little bit in the atmosphere. So you can see that says about 57 miles per hour. That's a little bit elevated. So likely at the surface could be about 50 miles per hour, just in the spot that I had clicked there. So again, this is not looking too impressive as far as the bright reds are concerned, not seeing that exact rotation, but again, likely in this area, Lakin, heading towards Varna and Toluca, strong winds are entering that area. So it's safe to say to stay in your safe place as of right now. I'm going to click back onto our reflectivity product to check back in on our local severe thunderstorm warnings that we do have. Again, we do have one heading east towards Peoria. It's just about past the metro now, heading into Morton and the northern parts of Tazewell County. Zooming in here, you can see where those heavier downpours are. Likely about 60-mile-per-hour winds are measured there, along with large hail, about up to an inch, I think I have seen. And it actually looks like at 10:55, this severe thunderstorm warning that we're looking at right now has expired. So we're likely going to see this box on your screen expire within the next couple of seconds or so once our radar kind of gets up to date. We do have someone in the chat saying there are reports of power lines down in Peoria, and that's just about up to, we saw 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts in this system. The system north of that, this darker orange color, is a considerable threat thunderstorm. So this is likely measuring stronger wind gusts than the Peoria metro area. So that's why I want to emphasize, if you are in the northern parts of Woodford County, in the northeastern part of Peoria County, such as Chillicothe. If you're in Lakin area, Toluca, Varna, Washburn, Benson, Roanoke even, Minonk, you should be staying in a safe place in your homes, as we have not only a tornado warning working through the central parts of Marshall counties, but we also have a considerable thunderstorm heading into that area of the northern parts of Woodford County that is leading to some strong wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour that could lead to some damage. So we're going to check back in on that tornado warning. Going to look at our reflectivity product there. This again shows us how the winds are rotating. Again, green is heading towards the radar, red is heading away from the radar. So we want to see those bright colors coupled together. We're still only seeing really bright returns from the green, showing really strong winds heading toward the radar. Not looking too supportive of rotation, but of course that thunderstorm warning or tornado warning is going to remain. So we're going to try to put a track on this again. If you're just joining us, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning along with a tornado warning in parts of Marshall County and Woodford County. We're going to draw this out. It is heading southeast at about 40 miles per hour. It's likely going to be arriving at Larose at 11:07. Arriving at Minonk at 11:25. Flanagan, if this is able to keep its strength, arriving there at 11:39. 11:45 in Gridley, along with 11:50 p.m. in Pike and 11:56 p.m. in Chenoa. Again, this is heading southeast if you are in these areas of Marshall County, northern parts of Woodford County, northeastern parts of Peoria, such as the Chillicothe area. We do have a strong thunderstorm that's producing up to 70-mile-per-hour winds, so you want to make sure you're staying in a safe place with these storms. So it looks like they expired the system that's just east of Peoria now, but they have expanded it to head towards the northern parts of Tazewell County, heading into Woodford County now. You can see that cell highlighted by the orange box, as I can click that out for you. Heading towards Eureka right now, likely seeing some strong winds begin to approach that area. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust along with quarter-size hail. This is set to expire at 11:30, so you can hear the downpours outside along with the lightning. Make sure you're just staying inside. If you have to travel this late, definitely not a good idea. And it's almost following along that I-24 or the Route 24 along with I-74, this cell in particular. It is heading east outside of Peoria County into Tazewell and Woodford County. Now I want to go back and check in on our tornado warning yet again. We are beginning to see some indication of rotation on, or at least an inflow area for our reflectivity. So I'm going to draw the track out or check in on actually our reflectivity. So still showing some bright returns there, so likely still some rotation in that area. So that's why if you are in Lakin and Varna, Washburn, Toluca, stay in your safe place, as we do have a tornado warning working through the central parts of Marshall County. And just now joining me is Chief Meteorologist Chuck Collins, and I'm going to hand it over to Chuck if you are ready.
Yeah, they're just getting the shot set up here, so there we go. Thank you, Devin. Appreciate it very much. We've had two separate systems kind of congeal right over us here in central Illinois, and that's resulting in the severe weather and the tornado warnings we're seeing and the severe thunderstorm warnings we're seeing as well. So there's the tornado warning right there. That's the one in Marshall County, and we're looking at Larose arriving at about 11:06, so a couple of minutes from now. Minonk at 11:24. Panola 11:33, Flanagan 11:38, Gridley 11:44, and Lexington, if it goes the distance, that'll be until 11:47. And then you've got this part of Woodford County, northern Woodford County, at a tornado warned area because of this cell, and it includes northeast Peoria County as well, including Chillicothe. And that's part of a severe thunderstorm warning. And it looks like, is that the warning, severe thunderstorm warning right there, Devin?
Yes, the orange box shows
right,
the
okay.
considerable
yeah.
one.
So that's not the tornado warning. Tornado warning's right here. Here's the severe thunderstorm warning. But the reason why it's an orange, almost looks like red, is because we're looking for 70-mile-an-hour winds coming out of that thunderstorm. So that includes basically the southeastern portion of Stark County, northeastern Peoria County. That includes East Chillicothe. And then you have another warned area with 60-mile-an-hour winds cutting right across from basically downtown Peoria, across northern Tazewell, into southern Woodford County, into northwest McLean County. Yeah. And southeast Woodford County. So we've got several different warnings going right here. This one goes until 11:30. I just came across the bridge in that one, and there are there's rain out there that's moving horizontal, and that's how windy it is. So we're looking for 60-mile-an-hour winds, basically along the 24 corridor, running from Peoria on through parts of Tazewell and Woodford counties into extreme northwest McLean County. And then we have the tornado warning that continues in Marshall County until that still go till 11:15? 11:15, yes. 11:15, okay.
We'll check the chat to see if they have extended it, but as of now, yes, 11:15.
Okay. And here's a look at our Doppler velocity. This tells us where the rotation is. We got a little bit in here. It's broad rotation, and it's radar indicated. We don't have any tornadoes that have been sighted or funnel clouds that have been sighted, but they're rain wrapped too. There's a lot of rain out there, so we're depending on the Doppler radar to pinpoint where the rotations are. And this is the action, the red, going toward the Lincoln radar site, and the green and the red is away. So we're looking at this area right here as we look for the boundary. You can see where the greens are meeting up with the reds. That's where you're going to get some broad rotation right there. And these are just strong winds in this green right here. So that's what we're looking at in Marshall County, where the tornado warning is. Let's get the cone back on that. I know we have a few cities involved, and if you're in these cities or in the path of these cities, make sure you're in your safe place right now, because you'll need to. This includes Henry, and we're coming down basically to the southeast, moving at about 40 miles an hour. So LaRose in the next couple of minutes, Minunk at 11:22, Flanagan 11:36, Gridley 11:42, and then Lexington 11:54. If you're in this coned area, especially in Marshall County, make sure you're in your safe place. This cone goes outside the county, but if this were to continue as a tornado warning and be extended, these would be the areas where it would be extended to. And then we have several more severe thunderstorm warnings crisscrossing Woodford County at the same time. We've got one that can produce 70-mile-an-hour winds and running portions of the county. And then we've got another one that could run 60-mile-an-hour winds. That's Marshall, Peoria, Stark, and Woodford. So you can see all of these areas from basically Henry to Peoria, from Toulon basically to El Paso, those areas in some sort of warning. So make sure, since it's at night especially, that you go ahead and designate somebody to stay up. If you want to go to bed, that's fine, but designate somebody to stay up to watch out for severe weather. So we have several. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 different warnings going on here at the same time, as we've had a couple of cells congeal. It looks like it was going to do the split around us earlier, but the I-80 stuff sank a little bit farther to the south, more than southeast, and then we've had some come in from the southwest, so kind of nailed us, especially as you go north of Peoria and east of Peoria. Peoria Metro just getting the heavy rain right now, and that horizontal rain as well. So Devin, what do we got on chat? Anything in the latest?
Yes.
And we'll go back over to you.
So the severe thunderstorm warning that was in the northern parts of Woodford County, the northeastern parts of Peoria County, the one that we've been really focusing on, it was a considerable level threat, but they now have reduced it back to a baseline severe thunderstorm warning. I mean, that still means it's going to likely produce up to 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, or that has been measured as of now, along that line of severe thunderstorms that you can see heading towards Marshall counties there. Along with that, they have extended it further into Livingston County, along with the furthest northeastern tip of McLean County. So that again is, if this line comes the distance towards the southeast, it would be heading towards areas in the southeastern part of Livingston County, towards Gridley and towards Hudson and Eureka. So this isolated cell sort of that we saw exit east of Peoria is now likely going to have that line of severe thunderstorms run into it. So definitely a lot of strong winds in Woodford County right now. And I just heard the chat go off, and it looks like, Chuck, that they have expired the tornado warning in Marshall County. So we'll likely see that update on our radar in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, we'll have that update. Everything goes on a timeline, so this may stay up until 11:15. We'll see if it comes down. So you're in the clear as far as that tornado-warned storm is concerned, but look at the high reflectivity. We've got big-time rain out there. We've got horizontal rain. We've got lots of lightning. Lightning is intense out there, and if you're along any of these, especially the 24 corridor, that's the most wind-driven one we're seeing, and in northern Tazewell, just on the eastern side of the river, and we're looking at northern Tazewell. We're talking Washington, Sunnyland, Eureka areas, and then areas across 24 as you get into Gridley. So here is the warned area. So we have this warning right here that extends into southwestern Livingston County. A warning goes into northeast portions of McLean County, across southern Woodford County. That's anywhere between 24 and let's say 74. And then you've got northeast Tazewell, which includes Washington. Then you go up further into central and northern Woodford County. You've got another severe thunderstorm warning, which extends into northeastern Peoria County around Chillicothe, Rome, Wrenchville areas. And then you go up into just the eastern part of Stark County, east of 17. That's mostly in agricultural areas with that severe thunderstorm warning. So we still have that tornado warning on our map, but that has been expired. The Weather Service has knocked that out of commission. That's good news. But notice the rain here at Devon, high reflectivity, and it's pouring like buckets out there. And if it keeps up like this, we might see a little flash flooding from time to time.
Yes, for sure. Up to 1 to 2 inches is definitely possible with this line of showers and storms that is working southeast into the area. And we have seen it focus over that Marshall County area where that tornado warning was. So it is likely that within the next, say, hour or so, if this system takes its time to work its way towards the southeast, we could certainly see some flash flooding, especially in that area. Now, as this line that we saw in Peoria, that system working east that you see on your screen heading into Eureka, El Paso, that tornado warning there, or sorry, that severe thunderstorm warning there, it's going to expire at 11:30, but it's moving at 60 miles per hour. So with that cell, again, in the northern parts of McLean County, Tazewell County, Woodford County, or the Seoul parts of there, likely not going to see a flash flooding threat because that system is moving very fast towards the east, kind of right north along that I-74 corridor. But that system, again, that we're talking about, the line of showers and storms with the reflectivity there, that's likely going to produce or has a chance to produce some flash flooding with those rainfall rates up to 1 to 2 inches. And it's moving at only 40 miles per hour. Not only, that's still pretty fast, Chuck.
And these are booking, but boy, that's kind of the two-edged sword. If you got the strong winds with that rain, then the rain goes horizontal and the visibility is crazy out there. Let's zoom things out a little bit if we can, Devin, and show you the whole picture. Here's what we're looking at. Notice now the action down here, several of these cells had tornado-warned storms around Adams County and places like that. Those are staying to the southeast. We knew they would. And these along the I-80 corridor between I-80 and 74, they came out of the Quad Cities. They were going east and they turned southeast, and they're more actually turning a little bit more south along that boundary. So that's what we're seeing here this evening, and we'll continue to have our full coverage. Although we have that tornado warning has expired, we're going to stay on the air for a few more minutes here on the TV side, and we'll keep it up on our social media platform on Facebook if we don't have any more warnings. But we'll stick it here for just another couple of minutes until this comes off our map. It just makes us sleep easier if we don't see that tornado warning there. It's been dismissed. The Weather Service has canceled it out, but our computer won't take it off until the expiration time, which is 11:15. Otherwise, we have those severe thunderstorms moving east now of the Illinois River, mainly along that Route 24 corridor is what we've been seeing north and south of there. There's Eureka, El Paso, coming out of Washington, even down toward Morton, the Morton, Washington, Blacktop, Tennessee Avenue, getting hammered there with some heavy rain. And you go to the Washington, Metamora Blacktop, things are easing up there. So we're talking central Woodford County, southeastern Woodford County, southern Woodford County, and a little smidge of northwest McLean County for that severe thunderstorm warning. And then we go go off into the eastern portions of Woodford County as well, and then you go into southwest Livingston County. And then north of there, you got torrential rains going on around Toluca, Washburn, Chillicothe. So we're talking, Route 91, Route 17, 89, 18, 117, 116, the old 251, 39. We're seeing heavy rain there. And it just depends on which storm you're looking at. Some are moving off to the east at 40. Others are moving off at about 55. And once again, we're seeing a lot of lightning out there. So we're going to keep it here for the next couple of minutes or so. How about the hail tracker
Chuck, it's like
as far as that's concerned? Take us through that, would you, Devin, with some hail?
Yes, you just read my mind. So, of course, any of these severe thunderstorm warnings that we have currently ongoing have been known to produce at least 1-inch size in hail. So that's been radar indicated. So as we check in on that cell that's just moving through Marshall County, that line that we just showed you there, you can see we have some returns on radar, some bright colors. So I'm going to put our measurement tool on that to see just how large that hail could have been just about southeast of Larose. So yes, about 1 inch. The gray color is closer to about a pea size, whereas the blues and the darker blues are a little bit closer to about a 1/4 in size. So haven't seen anything measured greater than that, but this is still likely occurring throughout these severe thunderstorm warnings. So on top of our strong winds and the heavy rain, you're likely going to hear some hail hitting on your windows, about up to 1 inch. So not as big as the threat we had seen earlier, at least up to 2 inches. And you can see there's the latest scan on our model showing that this system now is mostly just producing up to a pea-size hail, if that, across the area. That cell just about in the southern parts of Woodford County, showing the chance for some pea-size hail as well. So it looks like our system, or our two severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing right now, are likely just some strong wind threats along with some heavy rain threats as of now. Chuck?
And, while we're at it, we'll come back out to the wall here. While we're at it, why don't we put the lightning tracker on here? I want to see the lightning situation here, and it's going to be big time. Yeah, I knew there would be big time lightning all over the place. So, Mom and Dad, if you have kids and pets who don't like lightning or not crazy about lightning and thunder, you've probably got some company in bed with you right now, because that's what's happening. And you can see the instability in the atmosphere we're seeing with this, with the lightning especially. So lots of lightning, lots of thunder, thunderstorm warnings galore, running basically east of the Illinois River away from Peoria. We still have a couple of clusters. There's one moving across Stark County out of Knox County, and doesn't look severe, but there's still some lightning with it. And these we won't have to worry about. They're moving off to the southeast. These are moving off to the east and southeast, so we'll have to wait for those to move through. Still have Livingston and McLean to go, so I wouldn't doubt it if we saw some of these warnings taken farther to the east as far as our neighboring counties in especially Livingston and McLean counties. But you are part of these warnings. Severe thunderstorm warning, that is southwest Livingston County, and then you've got northwest McLean County there, and then just about all of Woodford County covered by 2 or 3 different warnings. Peoria is not in any warnings except for northeastern portions of the area. That includes Chillicothe, and that is it. So that's what we're looking at. Route 17 down to I-74 and east, we're looking at this massive complex of showers and thunderstorms, and that's what we're looking at. The tornado warning has finally come off our computer here, so no tornado warnings in effect, but we still have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for areas just to the east of Peoria, east of the Illinois River. And we're talking, the Woodford and Tazewell County line especially. That'd be maybe Spring Bay, Bayview Gardens areas getting hammered by that cell right there. And that's nothing tornadic, but there could be some wind there, and definitely some heavy rain, and we've had a little hail as well. So these are turning into real gully washers as we see several of these warnings in effect. So why don't we take a look at these warnings one by one, Devin, and give the time stamp, because all of these will be expiring in about 15 minutes or so. The one that affects Marshall, Peoria, and Woodford, we're talking northern Woodford, northeast Peoria, and then a smidgen of Marshall County in the southern regions. That's until 11:30. 11:30. And then as we come farther southward, I think these will expire at 11:30 as well.
Yes.
That's the one for McLean, Tazewell, and Woodford. That's basically along the Route 24 and even 74 corridors as you go out of Peoria toward Eureka, El Paso, and then 74 as you go toward Morton into the Hudson area. So those will expire in about 15 minutes. And we'll wait and see if these have any extensions on them. And we do have, notice this right here, this little couplet right there. We're getting some inflow into these, so these might be going a little bit more here as they progress eastward, but the Weather Service hasn't put any new warnings out. But we certainly have high reflectivity, and that means a lot of things, Devin, including heavy rain out there and some hail.
Yes, and of course, the lightning is going crazy across the area with these severe thunderstorm warnings. Now, checking in with the chat, they have not at least extended the warnings as of now for both of these severe thunderstorm warnings. So again, we have two, mostly cut Marshall County in half. It's just about passing Marshall County. So areas in front of that, like Woodford County, the northeastern part of Peoria County, heading into Livingston counties, you're likely beginning to feel the brunt of these strong winds. And of course, along with the heavy rain, you can hear it. And there have been reports of up to an inch size in hail, so that could be likely. It's going to be interesting watching how these storms interact once they kind of run into each other. I mean, we have this southern line of severe thunderstorms kind of heading east, and then this line of severe thunderstorms heading southeast. So we're going to watch to see if any kind of rotation could kick up with that interaction. But as of now, we're not seeing that. I think it is worth to just check in on our storm reflectivity. Again, the brighter the colors means the stronger the winds. So in the areas of Minonk, south of Toluca, north of Eureka and El Paso, likely some strong winds in that area. And as you can see, we are seeing the greens and kind of the reds like creating a little bit of a rotation. It is very broad. It is very broad. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Heading towards the radar is that green color, and heading away from the radar is the red color. So we're going to keep watching this area over the next couple of minutes or so to see if it can become more defined. We're just seeing two severe thunderstorm warnings kind of interact, so we definitely want to keep an eye on that to see any kind of potential further. But as of now, it just looks like one big hot mess, just a lot of heavy rain, strong winds, and of course the potential for some pea-sized hail and a lot of lightning.
All right, and let's go back to the the velocity. Let's go back to the velocity and put a query on a couple of these areas here. The question mark query. You want to see what kind of velocity. Yeah, so we're talking, 45 mile an hour winds, 47, almost 50 aloft. So you bring them down to the surface. You're talking still some 45 mile an hour winds possibility in this area in these warned storms. So these warnings go for the next 10 minutes until 11:30. So that's the reason why we'll stay on the air until 11:30 and until some of these expire, especially the one for northeast Peoria County, and we'll see if they're extended into McLean County or Livingston County or not. But anywhere in these areas, as Devin mentioned, you've got the focus toward the radar, away from the radar, and there's some broad rotation here. It's not tight. But we haven't had any reports of funnels or touchdowns. They've been radar indicated possible tornadoes, but anytime this time of night with the rain we have and the wind blowing the rain, sometimes if there's a tornado out there, the only way we can see it is radar. But we haven't had any reports of touchdowns, but we do have some broad rotation right here, and that's just to the east of Roanoke and along the I-39 corridor encompassing Minonk and Roanoke and El Paso and Toluca. So we'll watch this area for some broad rotation, but the severe thunderstorm warning for that area continues for another 10 minutes until we get into 11:30, and most of these are being slowly kind of nicked away or cut away by the Weather Service. But here's the northern fringe one, that is central and southern Marshall County, northeast Peoria County, and then that goes into Woodford County. apologize there, central Woodford County, and then southern Woodford County under another one, headed into northern Tazewell, headed into northwest McLean, and southwest Livingston County, mainly that 24 corridor, moving gently to the east at about 40, but some of these have been moving off to 55. So I think any word yet on what they want to do with any of these upstream, Devin, as far as extensions are concerned?
No, they have not indicated whether or not that they are going to extend these storms. I guess since we looked at the storm reflectivity or the velocity product, it was nice to see at least 47 miles per hour indication that measured there. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning is above 60 miles per hour at that 60 mile per hour mark. So it's good to see that a potential decrease in the wind strength, which is maybe what they're seeing. That's why they're not going to extend it. I mean, regardless, still strong winds in that area and of course heavy rain. But I guess they're seeing that a decrease in the strength of winds would not lead to an extension. At least as of now, we're not seeing any kind of indication of that from the National Weather Service. But they on-go until 11:30 p.m. are set to expire in Woodford County, Tazewell County, southern parts of Marshall County, kind of a glob right in the center of our viewing area as of right now, Chuck.
You said it best. It's a hot mess. Put up the velocity one more time. I want to check some of the returns we're seeing in the green section going toward the radar as far as the query is concerned. Route 117 corridor south of Toluca. I wonder what kind of winds we're getting there in that particular area. And I think they're probably going to come in 48, 50 mile an hour winds. So we're not seeing the winds we saw earlier. You have to have at least 58 mile an hour wind for a severe thunderstorm warning. So we're seeing anywhere from 45 to 48. Might be a few miles per hour less because the radar is at a little bit of an angle. So it's showing this above the surface. So you bring that down to the surface and that might be a little bit less. But those are the type of winds we're dealing with. And we're seeing some breakage in between here. So, this going toward the radar, coming away from the radar, we're seeing a jumbled up mess. So we're seeing some breaks. So we're not seeing a big rotation there as they bump up against each other. You can see how things are kind of breaking apart and you get this pixelization. But we've got some strong winds in eastern Woodford County headed toward into western Livingston County. So we'll be watching this bright pink area for some very strong winds and some very strong winds in the green area along the 117 corridor, basically as you go north toward Toluca. So that's what we have going on. The severe thunderstorm warnings we're dealing with stay for another a few minutes until about 11:30. It looked like earlier tonight that Peoria might be split on this thing. But boy, I tell you, it certainly didn't look like these would come more south and southeast. But this whole line was up around the Quad Cities. It was going east and then came southeast and south. And you can see right here, this is the Route 90 corridor, Princeville, Chillicothe. And then as you jump across the river into Woodford County, into Washburn, right across from Chillicothe to Minonk, you can see this whole line, showers and thunderstorms, lots of lightning and lots of locally heavy rain with those as well. Let's zoom things out a little bit, and I want to see the western fringe and the extent of this, Devin, as far as the western fringe. So this still goes back into West Jersey, Monica areas, Princeville, northern Peoria County there, and continues to push all the way from that area to Pontiac. So this cluster right here, we're just getting some inflow, keeping this thing going a while, and it's moving off to the east now as it came a little bit southeast, and now it's going off to the east. These cells are going off to the southeast, so those shouldn't bother us. And we actually have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for most of the area until 4 in the morning. I think eventually that could be shaved off by the time we get all this maybe east of I-39, but it will continue in eastern Illinois. So let's for review for the next 5 minutes, 11:25, 11:30 right here, severe thunderstorm warning. That is central and southern Marshall, northeast Peoria County, including Chillicothe. And then we have another severe thunderstorm warning, and that extends into northern and central Woodford. Another severe thunderstorm warning for southern Woodford into basically northern Tazewell, and then off into the extreme corner, northwest corner of McLean and southwest corner of Livingston counties. And it looks like the heaviest of the rains are along this band right here, and Once again, let's put the lightning tracker on there. I want to see how the lightning is doing here. And yeah, you can see there's lightning galore. And we are seeing that and hearing that in the form of thunder as well. So we only have about 4 minutes left on these warnings. We'll see what happens, Devin, with the Weather Service, any extension of these possibility, but we'll have to wait and see in the next few minutes.
I do have an update. So it looks like the system kind of working into Livingston County. The northern severe thunderstorm warning that we're talking about looks like it was extended into Livingston County and set to expire at 11:45, and they did give it a tornado possible tag. So I think I'm going to focus in on this area. Potentially could be some inflow happening right in this area. So I'm going to switch to our reflectivity product to see if that is possible, or kind of giving the returns to the radar just now. And before I do that, I do want to touch on a few storm reports that we have got. We've gotten trees down around Peoria Stadium. And then we also had some poles down also in the Willow Knolls area, some power lines that are leading to sounds of fireworks. So if you happen to be out and about right now and you come across a downed wire, definitely turn around, do not get out of your car, stay away from that area if we do have downed poles right now. Again, these are some strong winds with these severe thunderstorm warnings, so it's likely that tree limbs could knock down these poles, and that's exactly what we have been seeing, at least in this area right now. So it does look like they have actually produced a separate severe thunderstorm warning, because I see 3 on our screen right now, it looks like. And Chuck, this is the newest one, heading into the northern parts of McLean County and the southwestern parts of Tazewell County right now, it looks like.
Yeah, that'll go until midnight, and we will take a look at this, Marshall, McLean, and Woodford. So yeah, this is the area right here, extending. Boy, I tell you, these are all over the place. It looks like a jigsaw puzzle, doesn't it? But the good thing, we don't have any tornado warnings in effect, so that's good news. And it's 11:28. We'll get to 11:30, and we'll see most of these expire and come off our map. And then if we don't have any tornado warnings or any tornadoes that could carry 70, 80 mile an hour winds, or severe thunderstorms carry 70, 80 mile an hour winds, we might get back to regular programming and keep things going on the Facebook side of things. But we'll wait till 11:30 until these expire.
So they were also just extended. Sorry to interrupt you, John.
Okay.
They were also extended to midnight along with the inch hail tag. So now it looks like the hail is beginning to ramp back up to an inch to an inch and a half, or an inch and a quarter in size with these storms.
Okay, so we'll have a lot of these extended until midnight, and we'll wait a couple of more minutes until 11:30 and decide what we're going to do. We usually stay on the air continuous for tornado warnings, which we did. We had one for Marshall County that went until 11:15. We wanted to make sure there were no more tornado warnings posted, and we wanted to stay on the air for that. So we'll stay on the air for another minute or so, and then we'll continue our coverage on Facebook Live as well. Thanks to everybody who was on Facebook Live, because, when you're getting 11:30 at night, people want to go to bed, and that's good. We need you to do that, get your rest, but at the same time, try and have somebody stay up to monitor the weather, and we'll stay up with you as well. So we don't have any tornado warnings, but we have severe thunderstorm warnings all over the place, running from Marshall through northeast Peoria County, just about all of Woodford County under 2 or 3 tornado warnings, northern Tazewell, and then we've got the extension into northwest McLean County, southwest portions of Livingston County. Pontiac, you'll be affected by that as well, and that's to the 11:30. So that cleans up a lot of real estate, doesn't it, Devin?
Yes.
So take us through what we have right here once again, expiration time, and what folks from Minonkin, El Paso, Eureka, Hudson can expect out of that warned area.
So it looks like they finally we saw 2 separate systems, a northern line of severe thunderstorms. We also had this southern cell that was working east. So it looks like they congealed now, and they're all heading southeast. So that's why we have one severe thunderstorm warning. It's mostly for Woodford County. It looks like it's mostly out of Marshall County. It might tip the most southern part, but it looks like it's mostly Woodford County, heading southeast into McLean County and also southwestern parts of Livingston County. So again, heading towards El Paso, Hudson, and just about still seeing a lot of heavy rain along with strong winds likely in the Minonk area as the system works southeast. It is traveling at 40 miles per hour, so and also producing up to 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and quarter-size hail. So again, about a quarter, an inch in size. And it's heading towards, or it's located near Secor right now, and just about east of Eureka, moving again southeast at 40 miles per hour, and set to expire at midnight tonight. So if you're in El Paso or Gridley, you're likely going to hear a lot of heavy rain begin in that area, along with lightning. And again, even some pea-sized hail and some strong winds are likely to be knocking on your door. But the good news is no tornado warning as of yet, and this does not have our tornado tag. So again, it's likely just a damaging wind threat, and if anything, a hail threat, a large hail threat as well. Chuck.
And lots of lightning, and it comes just to the north of the Twin Cities, so technically, it might come into extreme north normal. I mean, just maybe a couple of blocks. So Bloomington normal, you're technically not in this warned area, but you're close enough to it. You're seeing a lightning display to the north and seeing what's happening as well. So that's what we're seeing on our live Doppler radar. But it does include northwest portions of McLean County, and these are what we call a level 1 severe thunderstorm. That means maybe 60-mile-an-hour winds and maybe some inch hail, quarter-sized hail, no ping pong ball sized hail or anything like that, and no 70 to 80 mile an hour winds. So we might see some 60 mile an hour winds as this thing continues to push off to the southeast at about 40 miles an hour or so. So unless there's anything else over there, Devin, I think we might kind of wrap things up on the television side right now. Control room, keep our mics up and keep the studio live, because we'll want to continue on Facebook Live, but we'll go back to regular programming right now after I tell you I'm Chief Meteorologist Chuck Collins along with meteorologist Devin Mashuli, and if we have anything else, we'll break in and let you know what's happening. Let's get back to regular programming on the TV side.